All right, we back. Tacos with friends. Back in Kurt's dungeon. Jim's not here. But we got a special guest, the richest man on earth. My man JJ is here in the dungeon. In the dungeon.
Blessing us with his presence.
Yeah. So, Tacos with Friends podcast at gmail.com. Tacos with Friend on Twitter. Tacos with Friends on YouTube. And I started a podcast Instagram page. So Tacos with Friends podcast on Instagram. I don't know how to use it yet, but we on there though. We there though. Yeah. So you know, go ahead. You know, we gonna. I'm gonna start. You know, once I figure out how to use it, I'm gonna start posting some stuff. You know, posting some pictures. You know, I don't really know how it works, but you know, I'll figure it out. Indeed. So this week we gonna touch a bunch of stuff because like last week we were supposed to talk about a few things, but then we got caught up. You know, Kurt had his son out here, and we started talking about life, and I'll admit, last week was my fault because I wasn't steering the conversation like I should have because I was taking a bottle of wine to the head. That was my fault. So, but now I'm on water now. I got my sweat rag with me, so now we're going to be on point. So first thing I want to talk about, since we didn't talk about it last week, was the shooting in Santa Fe. Was it Santa Fe, Texas?
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, it was in Texas, Santa Fe High School. Yeah, so I think they said 10 people got killed, right?
Right, 10
got killed.
Injured,
yeah.
like
now, today, there was another school shooting at a middle school in Indiana. I think a teacher and a student got injured, and the shooter was a student. Wow. Now, Kurt, I know we were talking about it. You said you know the remedy to all these shootings.
Yeah, because I like to hear it.
Yeah. Get ready.
Well, okay, before you go into it, we've already you know my remedy already. Is that so this kid that's in middle school, how did he get a gun? He took the gun, probably had to take the gun from a parent or a sibling or something that's living with him, right?
I'm sure.
You would assume that. Yeah. You never know. Maybe this kid's got some cash and he bought a gun off the black market. Who knows? I don't know. But maybe 7 times out of 10, he got this from somebody that lived in the house with him.
Right.
Now, Kurt, remember I told you, JJ, I don't know if you heard what I think they should do. Now, let's say, for instance, this kid that started the shooting ended up getting killed. Now, whoever is the registered owner of that gun now, if it's somebody in his family, if that gun's not reported stolen, whoever is the owner of that gun, they need to go on a slammer.
True.
So somebody still needs to take the fall, pretty much what you're saying.
Exactly. Because I guarantee you, if they start putting these parents in jail for their kids stealing their guns,
it's not taking the fall. It's taking the responsibility, though, JJ. You can't say the fall.
But how... That's hard to dictate too, though, because if you got your parents at work, okay, you can't stop them from getting the gun.
Yeah, you can. You can put it in a location where they can't get to it.
Gotta lock it up.
You got kids like 17 years old, they gonna know where the key at.
Right. So if they know where the key at, guess what you need to do? You need to get a combination safe. Get a combination. Like there's ways to stop somebody from getting like I always say this. My dad was a police officer. I grew up in the house with a gun my whole life. Never knew where he put it. Never knew the combination of anything or how to even get it. So it's not. So that's the thing. It's if you are responsible enough with it, it won't happen. So now I'm not saying that. Now I'm only saying in this case if the kid gets killed. Now if the kid don't get killed, then the kid goes to jail.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But if the kid ends up getting killed or he kills himself like most of them do, then okay, I guess all right, the parents you gotta go to jail for it.
Okay, so what happens if they get the gun away from home from somebody else?
Okay, then that's on them. That's on them. That's why I said report it stolen. Okay, now, if you report a gun stolen, then you've already done the proper steps to let the authorities know. Look, my gun has been stolen from me, and now it's out of your hands if something like that happens. Now, if a kid is at home and he takes a gun from his parent, and he goes to school the next day and shoots up everybody and kills himself, all right, unfortunately now, your parents going to have to go to jail for you doing something stupid.
Yeah, I guess you got a point.
Now, Kurt, what do you...
Well, in light of the news of today's shooting being a middle school student,
Yeah.
which I had no idea of until you just mentioned it, my solution was legalize prostitution.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Honestly, because what's happening with these shootings? These shootings are being done by sexually frustrated, mental incapable young men because they are being rejected sexually, and it's always due to the fact that some young girl or whatever has rejected their advances. 17 years old, if they were to legalize prostitution, I'm telling you, these shootings would stop because they can release their frustrations legally. You won't have to do all this unnecessary shooting up schools to make a point. This is another subject about bullying. The number one reason why students bully, because they are unaware of what their sexuality is. They don't know if they're homosexual or heterosexual. This is why bullying still takes place. They are confused. If they have some place to release that confusion, a lot of this stuff will stop. But again, it is, in my personal opinion, at a certain age level where that legality needs to stay in. Like I said, about 17 years old. I had no idea of a middle student. Usually middle students are what, 12, 13 years old?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
So that would help them.
Right. Well, Kurt, people start early, man.
I understand you got areas
Especially
that start
these days
early,
now.
some states that start early. It all depends on where they are.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, what about a state like in Nevada where you can go to a brothel and pay someone for sex?
So they school shooting in Nevada?
It's possible.
But are they though? Have
Not
we heard reports lately of school shootings in Nevada? Well, sex is legalized?
No.
Exactly.
Okay, next question.
Okay,
Now,
next question.
you do know you can go out now. It might not be legal, but you could go out and pay an escort.
Yes, you can. But then they wanna penalize you and an escort because they want to make sure that you pay retribution somehow, either jail time, taxes. They don't want that to be legal. You know what I'm saying? Even an escort service, they still want to hassle an escort.
So, Kurt, what you're telling me, now tell me if I'm wrong, what you're telling me is the fault at the end of the day falls on the parents, because the parents should know that when they kids get to a certain age, they need to go out and get their child a prostitute.
No. That doesn't fall on the parents.
It doesn't. Who's going to get the prostitute?
That still falls on society, because in society, everyone wants to preach the evils of sexuality, but you're comfortable with kids bringing guns and shooting kids. But you're comfortable with that. But you'll say sex is bad and whatever else is bad. That's not the responsibility of the parent. Just like all these laws make certain ages a milestone in your life. 18, you grown. 21, you can drink. 25, you can rent a car. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they've already put milestones on your age anyway. Has nothing to do with your parents. Some states will allow you to marry 15, 16 years old. 16, you can drive a car. Remember we talking about that, JJ? 16, kids will get licenses.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? This has already been put in place. At what age you can do this milestone? So why can't that do that by legalizing prostitution?
So okay. So let me get this right, Kurt. Now, Kurt, now you've got me interested. Now you're saying. Now I'm wondering. So what you're telling me is that at a certain age you can be able to go out and buy a prostitute legally.
Yes.
What do you think would be the proper age?
I just said 17.
17?
Yeah, I believe 17, you should be male, female, physically aware of yourself by this time to know how you feel about yourself and what you want to go to. Because, again, the problem is not knowing what you are these days and times. Hetero, trans, homo. Give these kids the option to figure themselves out. This is the problem. We want to put blue, boy, pink, girl, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We want to mark them off already. You got to understand, which people don't realize, in our gene pool, we do have the X and Y chromosomes. Sometimes they get mixed up. Sometimes you have the outside of a male but the inside of a female and vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? Just because we see you as such doesn't make you such. So at that time, you should be able to get 17 years old, in my personal opinion, you should have already figured something like this out. What is your sexual orientation? It happens for both genders. You know what I'm saying? It's not prostitution just women. Men prostitute too. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm getting you to understand. There are young females and other women who would go to a male prostitute. Now, society will tell you otherwise, but we call them boy toys. You understand what I'm saying? Society calls them boy toys. But as a woman, she would prefer to go to a quote-unquote male prostitution for gratification if she has that option to do it. And I guarantee you she would. 100%.
All right.
We call them boy toys.
Let me ask this question now. Now, I'm with you. I'm Kurt. I'm with you. I mean, we're on the same path now. But how exactly would we because, you know, like I always said this, drugs would be legal if they could figure out a way to tax it. Mm-hmm. If they could figure out a way to put tax on drugs, they wouldn't care. The same way like with liquor. Right. Liquor probably can do more damage than certain drugs.
Probably not the word.
But that's the thing. So,
but
they found out a way to tax it.
Right.
Now, how can you figure out a way to tax somebody's body?
But see, it's not even about the body. It's about the act, the performance, that what needs to be done. Everything is done. Everything is performance based. It's about performance
but
based.
the performance is being used on somebody's body.
But we're not taxing the body. We're taxing the performance.
But the body is part of the performance.
Okay, I understand that.
So we're talking about any performance.
Right.
Just a flat rate.
You can get a hand job for $10. That's across the board. You understand what I'm saying? Oral, $50 across the board. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's how you can do it.
Okay.
It's already been
and it doesn't matter which gender the person is.
It doesn't matter the gender.
So male hand job, same as female hand job.
$10.
Okay.
Now,
first off, Kurt. All right, Kurt. Let me tell you something.
That's your prerogative.
Kurt. Okay, look, Kurt.
Why? Your hand's better than women's
hands? Kurt. What I'm telling you is
you want yours to be 15.
No, Kurt. What I've always heard is that if you come up on a woman and she's selling you some vagina for a pair of pussy for $10, then you probably don't want it. You probably want to aim a little bit higher.
See,
I don't know.
You didn't let me finish the scale.
Kurt, I don't know if I'm trying.
Kurt, and then I went to oral.
I don't know if I'm trying to pay.
I didn't go to
next level.
But Kurt, my thing is,
as we go up, then the prices go up.
Okay, Kurt, look. Do you really want to pay somebody $10 for a hand? Like, Kurt, like, you're going to get like an ashy, crusty hand. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get like old, like, okay, first off, old hands are disgusting. Old people hands are gross.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's alienated 95% of the population.
I'm just saying, Kurt, some people's hands are disgusting. You know what I mean? You want at least an attractive hand. I want like, you ever saw like the commercials where somebody is like modeling like a can or something? Exactly. I want that. I want like an attractive hand.
And the way it's set up, just like the Bunny Ranch, I don't know if y'all seen these specials about the Bunny Ranch, the young women line up. If your hand performance or the way it looks, look at the young woman's hand.
Okay.
Listen, I want a hand job from you.
Now she can up her price for that hand, right?
No, it's already across the board. We just
no, Kurt. But what I'm saying is, I don't want a $10. I want.
So pretty much, he want to pay for a premium.
I want
the premium.
Kurt, I want premium. Like, okay, you know what? Exactly. You know what? Don't you know like how you got YouTube is free, right?
You got YouTube
Then you
Red.
got YouTube. I want YouTube Red hand jobs.
Okay.
I want the
Okay.
I want the best because you know
Okay.
on YouTube Red you can close your phone out. The shit's still going.
Okay.
You know no ads on it.
Okay.
I want premium
Premium
hand
service.
And
jobs.
I'm sure
So
you can
that probably
find
needs
that
to be
quality.
$50.
and you're willing to pay that,
But-
fantastic. Sometimes you can't pay $50.
Then you don't need the hand job.
Look, again, whatever it takes to prevent you from doing a criminal act, if you only got $10, pay that $10, get that hand job, get that release, and go about your business. I would rather you pay that $10 than try to take something out of somebody else's physically because you upset and frustrated. You want a premium
Okay.
package? Take the premium package. You want to pay $50 for a hand job? I want to pay $10.
That would just be extra.
Kurt, really $10? $10
Hey,
hand
man,
job?
I'm good with that.
Kurt, like, do you know what kind of hand job you're gonna get for $10?
Man.
It's gonna be a rough, skin
Close your
ripping
eyes.
hand
Close
job,
your
Kurt. Kurt, it's gonna be like the worst hand job you ever received in
man.
your life. It's terrible.
I won't know until I experience.
Kurt, you might as well get a hand job from a goddamn grizzly bear
Hey,
for $10.
man.
Oh, God.
Hey,
That's gonna be the worst hand job you've ever
I would
received.
bring my own Vaseline. How about that?
Jesus, Kurt, you know what you're gonna know what kind of
Petroleum jelly on deck.
do you know what kind of Vaseline jar you're gonna get with a 10? You ever saw that movie Precious? Like right in the
Oh,
beginning,
oh,
where the man comes in, the raper, and they had like that disgusting jar of Vaseline. Like it's the dirtiest.
Like it's been
it's
sitting there
got
for
black-
years.
it's got fucking motor oil on it. You know what I'm saying? It's got fucking food residue on it and shit. They done lost the top, so the shit's just out. You know what I mean? It's all melted and shit.
I said I'll bring my own. Didn't
Nah, Kurt, for $10, I would think you would want them to provide the lube, right?
I'm just saying. You talk about I'm gonna get a hand job from a bear.
I'm just
Bears
Kurt,
don't carry
Kurt,
Vaseline.
Kurt, all of no, Kurt, no. First off, Winnie the Pooh was a bear, and he always had honey on
Yeah,
deck.
honey.
All right?
Honey is not Vaseline.
All right. Kurt, you don't know what people are into.
But there you go. You just said it. You just said it. See, you always keep going back to prove me right. You just said it. You don't know what they're into. They want a premium 50 or they want a regular 10.
So pretty much, somebody's going to take that $10 offer. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, somebody that's gross that's good. After they get the $10 hand job, they're gonna go kill. They're gonna go kill somebody anyway. If you pay $10 for a hand job, trust me, you still gonna go kill somebody. Like, come
Well, stay
on.
at home and do it for free.
Exactly. That's my. There you go.
If you want that-
Stay at home, get your frustrations out like a normal person for free.
I'm getting a 10. I'm getting a 10.
Or how about you do this? Go get a fucking girlfriend. You know what I mean? Go get a boyfriend. That thing is, Kurt.
But that still
dating
doesn't
is
make any difference.
Dating is so easy now.
But see, that still doesn't make any difference because we're going to touch on that too. Now, you want to just start touching on that?
Go ahead.
Because being in a relationship does not solve your sexual frustrations. Be honest with you.
I believe that.
That does not
believe
solve
that.
your sexual frustrations.
I believe that.
Because even people in relationships accuse other people of their partners raping them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to hold out. Because the one thing about women, which they don't realize, just because they're on your period doesn't mean I don't want sex. Your period doesn't mean my sexual vitality has stopped because you're on your period. So you can still provide me with a sexual act, i.e. hand job, oral. I don't have to have vaginal sex with you, but you want to withhold sex from me because you're on your period. That doesn't mean having a relationship makes you in a certified sexual relationship, bro. That doesn't mean that.
Okay. Quick, real quick, just a little bit off right quick. Bill Cosby did say that he wasn't really into sex like that.
You tell about all the 80 women you keep talking about.
No, Bill Cosby in general said he wasn't into sex. That wasn't Bill Cosby liked to touch.
Kinky.
Yeah, Bill Cosby said he wasn't
Fetishes
really into
and stuff
sex.
like that.
You know, like he was kind of into touching. And
I
stuff.
guess so. After you
know
get the
what I mean?
conviction, you can always say what you want into.
Yeah.
Let me be convicted. I'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff I want into.
Yeah.
I know I ain't into going to motherfucking jail. I'll tell you that.
Well, I've already said I don't think Bill Cosby's going to go to jail.
No,
Before Bill
I don't
Cosby go to
either.
jail, Bill Cosby is going to take a whole bottle of the pills he was
he
giving
ain't-
those women before
Man,
he gets into a
he
jail.
ain't stepping one foot in jail.
But-
He go Jello pudding.
Now, since we talked about Bill Cosby, all right, Morgan Freeman allegations have been brought up against. Now, the thing is, Morgan Freeman played God. Morgan Freeman in Bruce Almighty was God.
Yes, he did.
All right. Yeah. Morgan Freeman was in the best movie, my favorite movie of all time, The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan Freeman was a co-star in that movie.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman, what other movie was Morgan Freeman? Morgan Freeman was in Glory with the greatest actor of all time, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
All right. Morgan Freeman, great actor.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman has been old his entire life.
Yeah, he got that.
All right. Morgan Freeman has old people moles all over his face.
Yeah, since he was 10 years old.
Morgan Freeman has a dead hand. All right. Morgan Freeman.
Job hand you want.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Some people might be into that. Some people might be into getting dead hand jobs.
Everybody got their own thing.
But I would think for something kinky like that, maybe you would want to pay more than $10 for something kinky.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean?
Premium.
You pay what you feel it's worth.
Yeah.
Just like the broad was trying to tell me.
Right, Kurt, for $10, you're definitely not going to get it.
Supposed to be worth, you make them worth that amount. That's why you pay it.
Saying,
I don't
Kurt.
pay it. I'm not making it worth that amount.
I'm just saying, Kurt, for $10, you're not getting quality hand.
Hey, man.
All right.
As long as I'm satisfied, that's the most important
Kurt,
part.
you're getting definitely below average hand.
Hey, then you have to compare it to my hand and theirs.
Kurt,
so which one?
Kurt, you're getting minor league hand. Okay, I'm just saying. Well, you know, at least the thing is, at least if it's your hand, you know what you like. You know what I mean? Like with this minor league hand that you got for $10, Kurt. This $10 hand, you got to kind of tell it like, nah, do it this way.
Not like that.
Nah, I want it this way. Yeah, you know what I mean?
But that premium had to do the same thing with that premium. Just because it's premium don't mean it's knowledgeable.
Kurt, $10 hand, you're getting an auto mechanic hand. All right.
No, but with the premium, then they're gonna put the more into it. It's more emphasis into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kurt,
they're gonna read you a book.
Kurt,
yeah.
Kurt, that $10 hand, that they're definitely using that lava hand bar soap to wash their hands, Kurt. You're not getting, you know, I want Olay hand. All right. I want that sensitive skin. Kurt, you're definitely getting auto mechanic soap. I'm just saying, Kurt. But, okay, so Morgan Freeman, allegations have been brought up against him. Now, from the allegations that I've heard, it's been more so like, it's not rape allegations, it's more sexual harassment. That Morgan Freeman was making, you know, maybe not the right types of comments to women. One woman said that, you know, he was trying to look up her skirt and, you know. So my question is, as more people, you know, it's almost, a lot of the shit's coming out about a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do we really want to know? Do you really want to know? Because everybody, I could almost guarantee you 90% of the people that we see on TV or we listen to their music, they've done something creepy. They've done something that we wouldn't agree with in our personal lives.
Right. And they've done something that we may have done just as creepy.
Exactly. And that's a good thing, because now the people that are probably judging Morgan Freeman, I'm pretty sure they've done the exact same thing that he did. Mm-hmm. But they're not rich like Morgan Freeman, and they don't have people judging him.
Did I tell you last time, we only see the money in, G. We don't see the ones without the money. We see the ones with the money.
Yeah.
You know what, Kurt? That's right. Because, you know, I read something last week. It really disappointed me. I think, you know, a few months back, remember we talked about the comedian Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
And, you know, he had a date with the lady, and, you know, the kind of kinky stuff he was into, she wasn't really into it. He was a little aggressive. Okay. And even though that story, it didn't seem, to me, it wasn't bad. To me, it was just a bad date.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was into some stuff that she wasn't into.
Right.
But she put it out there about him, and automatically people started to judge him. And I read that he did like a stand-up show, and women were walking out of his stand-up show.
Which is crazy, because you walked in there.
It was a surprise stand-up show. It was so they went there just for a comedy show, and he just came
So they didn't know he was.
They didn't know he was there.
Okay.
Yeah, so once they saw him, they walked out on him. But my thing is that even after, it's almost like saying, the only thing somebody got to do is like, it's almost like if a woman came up, now, of course, like everybody knows JJ is rich as shit. So if a woman came up and said, hey, JJ raped me, Now, it might not even be true. And you're going to do everything. You're going to use all the money you got to prove that she's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, in society's eyes, you were accused of rape. So to society, you are a rapist. It don't matter if you were proven or not.
Right.
You are a rapist now.
That's how it goes now.
Because you got yourself in that situation already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of, that's what I'm saying. Like, do we really want to know this? Like, because the thing is, it's like, it's going to be that one day, it's going to be that one person. Like I said, if anything comes out about Sam Jackson or Denzel, I'm just not going to believe it.
Hey, they next.
All right. I'm not going to believe it. Denzel Washington, greatest actor of all time. Denzel don't have to take nothing.
Yeah, I can't wait till that Equalizer 2 come out.
Yeah, Denzel ain't got to take nothing, man. Denzel don't have to. He's Malcolm X, man.
Yeah.
All right. He don't have to take nothing. All right.
Exactly.
So, do you like JJ? Do you want to know the people that you grew up on, the people that you watched on? Do you want to know the creepy stuff that they do behind closed doors?
No, I don't, because I'm still trying to recover from Bill Cosby. That's why I watched all his stuff.
That's why I
Do you
watched.
still watch the Cosby Show?
Well, I can't now because they took it all off the TV.
I'm saying, like, if you had the box set, would you watch it?
Yeah, I would. Because see, the thing is now you tarnishing everything he's did, all the way to this point now. And now Morgan Freeman, even if he's found innocent, guilty, whatever, he's gonna be tarnished now.
Oh yeah.
Because he got called out. And we probably won't never know if it's, once they go through the process, if he's found innocent, it's still something happened. It just don't come up.
Right.
Yeah. Now, Kurt, I remember you said that when the stuff that Mel Gibson said hit you hard. Can you watch a Mel Gibson movie now?
The only accident I watched with Mel Gibson because I wanted to watch the what's that Stepfathers? You know what?
Yes, yeah. The one with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Mark, yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Right.
He played his father.
Right, he was in it. Right.
But any other Mel Gibson movie, I stopped watching. I enjoyed that movie, but he just happened to be in it.
Okay.
But if they weren't in that movie, I would have not watched that movie.
So you've cut Mel Gibson off completely.
Cut.
Okay.
Cut.
It's kind of like Kanye for me, right?
Mm.
So the Pusha T album came out today, right? And Kanye is on the track. And when Kanye came on, I felt weird listening to him. I felt uncomfortable listening to him. After, the bullshit that Kanye pulled. I felt weird listening to him on a song. It's just weird. So I get where you're coming from. Now, me on the other hand, I'm going to watch Shawshank Redemption no matter what, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, like I said, Morgan Freeman didn't rape anybody. Morgan Freeman was just a creepy old man. He was just a creepy old man. He did creepy old man shit, which isn't giving him an excuse or something.
Right.
But it's saying, he said some creepy old man shit. Stuff that creepy old men say.
Exactly.
Creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when I was younger.
Had that mindset.
When I was younger, old men creepy old men used to just hit on young girls all the time. And I always found it weird. Like, why are you nasty old men out here doing this? But the thing is, you know what?
It happens.
Old men are just fucking creepy.
It happens
They're
every
disgusting.
generation. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I had to catch myself. You know what I'm saying? Looking at these young girls with women bodies. You understand what I'm saying? You have to triple take sometimes and realize this is an elementary school student with the body of a grown woman.
Kurt, I got a question for you,
creepy
Kurt.
Old man.
I got a question for you, Kurt. Now, let's say you're in your 40s. Let's say you were to get divorced from Mrs. Kurt. Mrs. Kurt. Let's say you were to get divorced, Kurt. Would you have like an age limit on the type of woman you would be trying to get with?
Yeah, exactly. I would, because I still, would want to be within, I would say, between the 30, 34, 35 range. Because understanding, maturity and things of that nature, and what she should already have and what she's doing in life and what she's already figured out. Because the other thing, personally, with me, if that was to happen, I cannot be with a woman with children younger than mine. Because I've already been accomplished, or I would say...
You passed that stage
I
already.
passed that stage.
Yeah.
Not accomplished, not an accomplishment. But I passed that stage.
Right.
I'm accustomed
To
to
a
be able
certain
to get
lifestyle.
up and go.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for no babysitters for your child. You understand what I'm talking about? My children are self-sufficient. They ready to go. They own and popping. I'm out of here.
Right.
I ain't got time for you to be waiting. But can I call my mama? No.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your business. Adios. You know what I'm
So-
saying? That's the only other. That's what in my personal preference.
Okay, so let's say, Kurt, let's say you have a child that's like 25 or something. Or could you date a woman that's 25?
No, I can't
No?
do that.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't
'Cause
be.
she
That's
ain't
why I
at
said.
that
That's why I
maturity
said
stage
my
yet.
range would be 35.
35. Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
JJ,
I can't
what
do that.
about you? Like, do you have like let's say see JJ, you're so young and so rich now.
27.
You're like a fucking playboy out there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're an international
You helped me.
playboy. You know what I
helped
mean?
me
You,
to
you,
30.
you can get any woman you want.
Yeah, man.
But let's say
You see the
JJ.
Malibu out there? I almost moved my truck so he could pull his Malibu in the driveway.
JJ pulled up motherfucking ride sitting on them things.
Yeah, you did clean cut, clean, looking good.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay, JJ, do you have like a limit? Do you have like a cutoff limit for a lady that you trying to?
But it's hard to dictate that because, like I said, I'm 27 right now. So
Right. No, but I'm saying JJ. What
Would
I'm
you
saying is
get you a
JJ.
sugar
Are you
mama
out? Are you gonna be?
No.
Are you out here? What I'm saying is
You won't be a
JJ.
boy toy, JJ.
Are you? Would
Hell
you
no.
date somebody that's 20?
No, I won't.
Okay.
No, because again, like we get to a certain stage, like that maturity level kicks in. You know, what I'm saying? Certain stuff that she might want to do, I don't want to do anymore.
No.
You know, 20 to me is like that's still like that kiddie
Oh yeah.
level.
Exactly.
And actually 20 is like when you just starting to discover life and you getting ready to hit 21, and so no, she would have to be 25.
Okay. So 10 years younger than Kurt. All right. So I'm a little different from you guys, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm a little different from you in this. I'm 30 now, right?
Right.
Now, for me personally,
grandma.
if Kurt, me and you on the same thing. Now, look, if me, you know, in the love of my life, if something were to ever happen, nothing would ever happen. You know, the only thing that could happen is she would get struck by lightning and would drop dead. That's the only way something could happen. Like
Uncross your fingers.
what? hey, I don't know what you're talking about, man. But let's say something like that would happen. I wouldn't date below. You know what I mean? Know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a nice 40-year-old, a nice 45-year-old woman. You know what I mean? I want a woman that's lived. I want
Okay,
a woman
so-
that's like a fine wine.
But then when you go that route, so now if you want kids, will you still be thinking about doing that with a?
No, because I've made the decision to go after this older woman now.
Okay, so you would just stop that.
Yeah,
completely
I've
when
made a conscious decision that hey, I'm about to get a nice seasoned woman. You know what I mean? I like seasoning on my food.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I like a nice wine that has some seasoning to it.
ain't no
I would
wrong
like
with
my
that.
woman
Nice
like
aged
that.
steak.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I would want her to have some seasoning to her. You know what I mean? I want her to, I want to know that she's gone through some things.
Okay.
You know? Like I want a woman that likes Beverly Hills Cop just the way I do. Preferably, I would like for her to be alive when the first one came out. You know?
What she would have been.
Right, like the 80s is my age, so I want a woman that's lived through the 80s. That's what I want a woman that's gone through 1980 all the way through. I want her to see every year of the 80s. That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want a woman, that's receiving the retirement stuff in the mail. That's who I'm looking for. You know, so I'm a little different from you all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even go low. I wouldn't even want somebody in my same. No, go. You know what? Hey, you're 10 years older than me. All right, that works perfectly. That works. You've seen things. You got 10 years on me. So let's say a woman that's 10 years older than me. That means she was born in 1978. So that means, she's seen some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She was alive when Michael Jackson released Thriller. I want to know what those times were like. I want to know.
Right.
Like, shoot.
You missed the Pepsi
Yeah,
commercial
I
when it
missed
got
it.
lit up.
Right, I missed it. I was born when Bad came out. I'm
Yeah.
trying to see what Thriller was about.
You did.
You know what I mean?
Billie
So
Jean.
now you have a source, huh?
Yeah, now she's gonna tell me like, hey,
Back
it
in
was
my
really
day.
popping back. Exactly, yeah, back in my day.
Mike made the flow light up in Billie
Hey,
Jean.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I would be looking for.
Yes, sir.
But now,
Now you might have swayed me, G. You might have swayed
no, see, Kurt, I don't know. See,
may
Kurt,
have
you
swayed me.
go any older, you dealing with some women that was going through the Great Depression. Yeah.
But see, that's the best part because they worked their way out of it. So I already know that they got their heads right. When you work your way out of the Great Depression, you good.
Yeah.
So that's a
JJ?
benefit.
JJ, you going up? You
I'm
getting us a nice
Swayze.
senior?
I mean, I'll move it up at age 26. I mean, it depends on what your mindset is at that time. It's my mindset right now.
Right, because
playboy.
if you was approached by a 30-year-old woman, would you give that thought?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
But none past 30.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
JJ, so
She like okay. So let's say if I'm 27, and I'm a 40-year-old. I'm like, well, I'm still I'm past the kiddie phase, but then I'm still experiencing life. But you already experienced life already, and I don't want to know what happened in your day. I want to know what happened, currently, right now.
Right.
JJ,
Right.
JJ,
You want to be able
what
to
if,
grow together.
Right.
Pretty
Thank
much.
you.
What
Exactly.
if a nice Viola Davis walks up?
Oh,
on
hell,
you?
no.
Viola. No, how to
No,
get
you
away?
hit me with something better
A
than
nice
that.
how to get away with? What are you talking about, man?
No.
Viola Davis is a fact.
You gotta hit me with like a Nia Long.
What?
Or
JJ. JJ.
yeah, oh, definitely.
Oh,
her.
my
Definitely
God.
her. Yeah, you gotta.
I
Now,
got
if they came around, now we talking a different story. That's
JJ.
different.
Regina King? Possibly.
Yes, yes.
Viola
yes,
Davis
yes.
is a
I got
fact.
You say Viola Davis? No,
She is a
Oh.
fox.
That's not happening.
JJ, that's the thing,
No, that's
JJ.
not
You don't,
happening.
JJ. You're blocking your blessings.
Oh.
You're blocking your blessings, man.
eh?
You're blocking your blessings. Now
Taraji, I mean, come on, man. That's the ones there. That's that group, right?
you're blocking your blessings, man. See, you know what? Women like that, they're still trying to go to the club. You know what Viola Davis is trying to do? She's trying to show you a book to read. She's trying to expand your mind. You know what I mean? She's trying to get you ready for what these cops is doing to you. And talking about what cops are doing to you, JJ, you were talking about Sterling Brown. I'm not really familiar with his game, but he plays for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I ain't know who he was. Man.
Now it's like I think in January he got tased by the cops. They didn't say anything. They just said, I remember when it came out, they said he got tased by the cops. They didn't really say. They didn't put a lot of information out about it.
Okay.
And I think this week they released a video of what happened. And from the looks of it he went to like a grocery, he went to like a drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
Walgreens. Went to Walgreens to get something out real quick. Parked in a handicap spot. Run in, run out.
Right.
And when he came out, the cop was there.
Mm-hmm.
And cops talking to him, and next thing you know, this thing done escalated. The cop done called back up. Maybe like 5 other cops done pulled up. And it's January in Milwaukee. So he's got his hands in his pocket. It's cold as shit. Fucking cops are now grabbing on him, putting him to the ground, then they tased him.
Wow.
All for parking in a handicap spot.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, I think if this would happen, now I want to know if this would happen to an NFL player. Because, the NBA, they're kind of ahead on a lot of this social stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the NBA, they're like supporting them. The Milwaukee Bucks actually put out a statement, saying that the Milwaukee Police Department was wrong for what they did. I even think Sterling Brown, I think he said he's actually going to sue the Milwaukee Police Department.
Good luck.
But it's okay. My question is, JJ, I'm gonna ask you first. Like, why the fuck does this shit keep happening to her? Like, what the fuck, man?
You know what?
Like, over a fucking parking spot, man.
It's one thing where you get to those, you see these ones where, like, you get agitated and you start talking at the cops a certain way, and, and that's how it escalate. I didn't see zero things wrong with what was going on, and for one, the one red flag that popped up, the guy asked for backup, all of a sudden, like, 10 cops pop up. And even the cop, they showed, even the cop went over and he was like, well, I only asked for 1 cop. So that's a red flag right off the start right there.
Right.
So why is keep it? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, so, Kurt, you have some seasoning on you. Like a fine, food or a fine beverage, like I like my
Or wine.
Yeah. Kurt, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I'm pretty sure, Kurt, you have a lot of stories of stuff like this happening. But now it's just coming out more because it's getting recorded.
Right, exactly. It's available to be seen now.
Yeah.
But see, with me personally, though, I try to stay away from attention as much as I can.
Any conflict and stuff like that.
Driving while black and everything like that.
Right.
The last thing I would do if I don't need
JJ
to,
has it pulled up right there.
is park in a handicap spot. You see, or right now on the ground, I can see if it was snow covered, there was you know what I'm saying, he had no other choice but to park in that spot. But since he had multiple spots he could have parked into to avoid this confrontation, that's all you have to do. Park. If you don't have a handicap vehicle plate, or you're not handicapped, don't park in the handicap part.
Right.
That's
you asking for them.
That's,
to
you,
give
right.
reasons.
You're looking for attention,
Right.
because you giving them something to talk about first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see on the ground, there's nothing that's prohibiting him from parking anywhere else. And he could have chose another spot other than his parking. I don't care if he's rushing in. I don't care if it's an emergency. You could have parked in another location, because it's still not that important, because you still didn't get back fast as you thought you was getting back.
All right, so let me
He
ask
still
you this
didn't make
question,
it back
Kurt.
to where he was going.
Let me ask you this question, Kurt. So what you're saying is, as black men,
But see, that's the thing, though. You got to understand. They were looking at the car. They didn't know what color the driver was, because he's in the store.
No.
His car is illegally parked
What
in
I'm saying is this.
spot.
I got that. I'm with you on that, and I don't think that he would have a problem with getting a ticket. You know what I mean? Like if it was a thing where if he was arguing about the ticket,
Right.
You know what I mean? Then that'd be a little different.
Right.
But what I mean is, okay, he pulled out. He's in the parking spot. Next thing you know, like, okay, do you need like all that backup for that? Like, all you got to do is write the ticket.
Well, you're right. That's
what I'm
it.
saying.
Write
That was
the
a red
ticket.
flag from
Right. Oh, yeah, like I said, he should have just been accepting of the ticket, because he already knew he was
Exactly.
wrong.
I'm pretty sure he knew
And
he
the
was
police
wrong.
officer just wrote the ticket, or gave him. Look, man, I'll give you a warning, whatever. But it's the fear of, and it's about to be hurting a whole lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm about to say, the fear of young blacks, the race of the dark-skinned man, still brings fear in the hearts of every other nationality on this planet. No matter where you go, as a dark-skinned man, you bring fear into the hearts of everyone. It's about to hurt a whole lot of people, me saying this, but it's the truth. Because I guarantee you, if that was Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
So, okay. All right, Kurt. See,
Uh-oh.
Kurt, this is why I like you. So, Kurt, what you telling me is that if this guy, now, if you say, so you're saying if he was light-skinned, something like this wouldn't happen.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if that was Steph Curry or Klay Thompson.
No, it's okay. So what you're saying, light-skinned.
Yes.
Light skin, okay. Because I'm pretty. That's the thing. Because now the thing is, this guy, he is a basketball player with the Milwaukee Bucks, and probably, like I said, they probably don't know who he is.
Take your hands out your pocket. Hold
Right.
on. Look out. It just starts swarming them.
Yeah.
And all. See, that's what I'm saying. All of that for it could have been. They could have. Okay, 9 times out of 10, I've been pulled over a few times.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, I'm in my car. That could have been something as easy as, all right, look, hey man, you're illegally parked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Hey, all right, cool. Look, I'm about to give you a ticket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said, the dude, he plays for the NBA, so I'm pretty sure he ain't hurting for whatever the fine is for parking in, a
You would
handicap
assume,
spot.
yeah.
Right.
You would assume
So to
that.
give him a ticket.
Right. So then you would say, all right, cool, man. Look, get in your car. I'm about to go back to my car. I'm about to write you the ticket up. I'll be back, pull out of the spot, pull over to the spot right here. I'm going to give you the ticket. Go on about your day.
Right.
What it seems as if, to me, is that this guy illegally parked. He was wrong. Comes out of the store. The cop is already looking at his car. The cop sees who he is. He sees, a tall black guy, had a gold chain on,
Exactly.
got his hood on.
Exactly.
Sees I'm pretty sure he was driving a nice car.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And now he's wondering, okay,
He like a
who's
game
this
banger.
guy?
He like
Yeah,
a game
who
banger.
is this guy?
Yeah,
And automatically now he starts to judge him. Now, he brings the cops out. Now, because the thing is, once you get too many people involved, now if it was just that one cop,
Right.
once you get Once you start adding, 3, 4, 5 different people, now it's okay. Now that's when you start having issues.
Exactly, because everybody want to be puffed up chest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens.
Exactly.
Everybody loves to be, brave when they got surroundings, when they're familiar surroundings, or they got people surrounding them. You already got a gun and a taser. How much more do you need?
But you got all these different guys there. Why do you even need to tase them in the first place?
Right. What are you doing? What are you trying to prove, man?
And now my question. Now this is taking it to the next level is, what if that cop pulled out the wrong piece out of his belt? What if he pulled out his gun and he shot this guy in the back?
Yep.
Yeah, we had another one.
All for
a parking spot.
Fucking parking spot. Yeah. A fucking parking ticket that could have been handled easily.
Right. All he had to do is write the ticket and leave it on the windshield and been gone.
Write the fucking ticket.
Exactly.
Write the ticket.
He ain't had to confront him or anything.
He ain't had to say
write the ticket and leave it on, and that's
leave it on the windshield and be gone.
They do it all the time.
All the time.
And this goes into the NFL doing this new with kneeling for the anthem. What Kaepernick started, 2 years ago. It's like crazy to think, man. Kaepernick hasn't played. He missed the whole season last year.
Yeah.
He's gonna miss a whole bunch of He might
as well get his mind off of playing football.
Missed the whole season, and even though they've said that from what I've read is they're actually because he's suing the NFL, for collusion that they work together to keep him out of the league.
Right. I understand.
And from what I read is that they're working on at least they've got some information that shows that teams ranked Colin Kaepernick as a starting quarterback.
Right.
Not a backup, an actual starter that some teams, if he'd have signed with them, he'd have been a starter.
Right now.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay. So obviously that means that if for a lot of these teams out here, that if you're saying Colin Kaepernick is a starter and you didn't pick him up at all last year and Jay Cutler is out here getting work, obviously that means that the owners were working together to keep this guy out of the league.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, with this new rule that they started, which is basically, I think it's that they give the players the option.
Right.
You can either stay in the back, but if you come out on the field and you take a knee, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Right. But see, this is the part that we all missing during this great national anthem. While the national anthem, number one, you should not be selling concessions. All concessions should be closed. No one should be allowed to use the restrooms. You can't even be allowed to enter the stadium while the national anthem is playing. You can't get a ticket. The national anthem is playing, stand your ass still at the door. Number 4, all television broadcasts should turn away from the game and turn to the national anthem flag like they used to play when television went off. If the national anthem is so fucking important to you, we shouldn't be watching the game. We should be watching the national anthem. So you want to make it that important. That's how it should be. You want to put the quote-unquote new oppression on these players to, like you said, make your choice. Either you choose to stay in the locker room or you choose to stand for something you truthfully don't believe in.
But look, the NFL is so fucked up, man. It's like that's the way that they're getting away from it is they don't want to face it head on. They don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about exactly what the issue is. Right. So that's why they're saying, "No, you ain't got to come out." And they probably think they're doing people a favor by saying, "Yeah, you ain't got to come out. You can stay in the back." When it's like, "Nah, I want to come out and I want to show." You know what I mean? The exact same way that during like October, the players wear the pink for breast cancer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like. So if so that's the thing. So if you're giving players pink to wear for breast cancer, why can't I show how I feel that what's going on in the country?
Yeah.
Right. Because everybody forgets, as I mentioned earlier, that the national anthem was a song written about the Civil War. The Civil War was basically a war to keep slavery going. That's why there was a Civil War. To keep slavery alive in the South.
Yes, that's the part of the song they don't sing.
That's the part. That's what is not there, but that's why the national anthem was written. because they wanted to keep slavery in the South. The land of the free is the problem that everybody has a problem with. That's the part of the song that we have the issue with, the land of the free. Everybody just glosses over that part. The land of the free is the part of the song that Colin Kaepernick knelt for. But you don't want to let people express their freedoms or enjoy their freedoms. You want to oppress them by telling them you can't either stay in the locker room or if you come out, you better stand. For a song that's saying you are in the land of the free.
You know what I thought about now about law? Can they do that?
I would think that I would think if you sign an NFL contract, you're
You gotta
in that
abide
building.
by that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, obviously, you don't have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
They don't even have to play the national anthem. What about that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
What
yeah.
about not even playing it? Because, again, what are we there for? Are we there to watch the football game?
I think they said pretty
or are we there
recently
to be patrons?
I think they said pretty recently nobody even stood on the sidelines during the national anthem at the games.
Exactly.
Everybody was already
all
in
the
locker room.
teammates, all the players didn't even come out until after
Right.
the anthem.
Right.
So, is it even necessary to play the national anthem at a sporting event? This is not a war event. This is not a war.
So let me ask you a question. What if, let's say they said instead of, you're giving them the option, what if they said, you know what, instead of the players coming on the field for the anthem, they'll stand in the tunnels for the anthem?
Either way, you're still not on the field. That's just, you still have the same.
No, I'm saying all players, not nobody. Like
just keep
when the
them all in the
anthem
back.
plays, nobody
Okay.
is on the field. Everybody's in the back. They play the anthem
just
beforehand.
like it used to be.
Right.
That's all you just reverting back the way it was.
Exactly.
Nobody was out during the national anthem years ago.
Because I think if you look at basketball games, it's really rare if they even televise a national anthem getting played.
Right.
They don't even really maybe some maybe local games you might see it, but the national televised game,
Right.
it's really rare if you see the national anthem.
Actually,
getting played.
right, that they actually showing it on television.
And I do know because I think when this thing was all coming up, I know me and Jim and Kyle, we had a show. And basically, I was telling them that I think, Jim and Kyle, they were saying, the national anthem when they were growing up, it meant a lot to them when it got played.
Right.
And I know for me, the national anthem didn't mean anything.
Right, because again, that's what I'm saying. As you look at both sides of it, again, the national anthem was based on the Civil War. You have oppression. Because in the beginning, they didn't even allow blacks to even fight in this war. Remember? They were all European Americans fighting the Civil War.
Right.
Until they realized they running out of European Americans. So they started to allow, okay, if you want to fight for us, we'll give you your freedom. But they still wasn't given freedom. They still was treated as slaves even in the Civil War. But we hear the national anthem and the European American hears it. It's two different songs.
Yeah.
Same words, two different songs.
What about you, JJ? What does that mean?
You know what? I remember when I was in school, and I thought about that then. I'm like, well, why do I have to get up and stay, for the Pledge of Allegiance and all that?
Right.
And it was times I didn't. I would sit down.
Right.
I'm like, for what? What? I shouldn't have to.
Right.
And as you explain it now, it makes sense where that's coming from. But I feel like it's your choice. You don't have to.
Right.
Yeah, it means different things to different people.
Exactly.
If we're in a free country, it means different things to different people.
Exactly.
And talking about, Pledge of Allegiance, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to wrap this up with Tales from the Twitter. Now, I saw something. A young man was sent to court because he didn't want to leave his parents' house.
Jesus.
Now, Kurt, you brought this to me.
Yeah.
You said that a guy, 30 years old, moved back in with his parents. I guess he didn't want to help with the bills,
Yeah,
the upkeep of the home.
Yes.
And his
If he didn't have
parents
to do any chores or participate to
and
pay
his
the bill.
parents are suing him for not wanting.
No, they suing to get him out of the
They're
house.
suing him.
They don't care about him. They even offered him money to leave. They just want him
God,
gone.
that was the biggest waste of money I've ever seen.
a waste of life. Your parents believe you are wasting life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You are a
yeah.
waste of life if your parents believe it.
All right, so now let me put now, Kurt, I don't believe this, but let me just put this out here. Now, obviously, times now, you know what I mean? Like jobs are, it's like harder. I wouldn't say harder. I would say that you got a lot of people that went to college. Mm-hmm. They paid a lot of money for college, and once they get out of college, a lot of them aren't even working in that field that they went to college for.
100% true.
And a lot of time, especially with the price to live in America is going up every year. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like shoot, maybe back in like the 60s, if you got yourself a nice $14 job, you probably could live.
Oh man,
yeah.
You probably could live a good life.
Oh yeah.
But now,
and
14,
you had retirement,
right? But now a $14 job,
barely.
Yeah. You could barely afford a bicycle. You know what I'm saying? So look at it from this guy's situation. Maybe in his case, maybe he went to school. He went and he got this degree in something that he was passionate about, and that he was like, you know what? I want to get a job in this. And he's trying to keep his options open. And maybe it was just that one day his parents caught him playing Fortnite just all night long. And his parents was like, you know what?
I'm taking you to court.
I'm done. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Now,
because you're not trying to do anything.
now that's the thing. I don't know if the guy was trying to do something, but I know for me personally, once I made the decision to get out, I always said I would never come back.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I always said I would never come back once I got out.
Yeah. In our generation, your generation, we had that mentality.
But see, the thing is, Kurt, you said the guy was 30. Me and this guy are the same age.
Yeah.
Different mentality.
We're the same age. So I don't get. It's just, Kurt. Would you take your kids to court to get out the house if they got to a certain age?
Man.
First of all, they wouldn't even be back in the house. This is what we already discussed, because we've already had this discussion. Now I understand garbage. I understand. In life, we have struggles. We all been through struggles. I've had struggles. I ain't gonna sit here and say I had a perfect life. I went back and I actually, like you said, at a point in time, I moved back with my mom's and she allowed me to come back.
Right.
But like you said, I got my shit and I got my shit together. This is not where I wanted to be in life.
Right.
I'm not under my mama in life. That's not where I want to be. I got my shit together and bam, now I'm on top.
Right.
In my eyes.
Right.
My accomplishments may be different than your accomplishments, but they're still mine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
My children make the effort to get their life started and do what they need to do. When things happen, they want to come back, cool. The reason why I got the type of house that I got is because it makes you uncomfortable. Because you know this house is not going to allow you to stay here forever. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
This is the purpose. I purposely got my house like this. To make you uncomfortable, thinking you're going to come back here. No, it's not going to be room for you. Okay? It's only one king in my castle. And you talking to us right here. If that does happen, I give them a chance to get themselves together. When they come up on the time when I'm seeing no action,
it's
you
a wrap.
getting the fuck out. And I'm going to use that exact word and tone and language.
So you ain't gonna take them to court?
Not going to take them to court. They lucky I don't swing a 45 at them. I ain't going no court.
So Kurt, as an American citizen, the courts are there. All right, look,
I'm trying to see what grounds that you can take him to court for. What to say? What?
He's a grown ass man.
That's what I'm saying. But why would a judge even take this case to even do it?
Because it's becoming too much of a regularity now, where these generation of children who are grown ass adults when they come back and move into your house and then want to run your shit, JJ. Get your overgrown ass out of my house. Go find you a studio apartment. Don't offer to pay my fucking cable. Go find you a studio apartment. Take all your badass kids with you. That's the problem with this generation.
Now let me ask this question: Did the man have kids, or he was?
They
just there
say he
by
may have had a child. I don't know. But even regardless of the fact, you were given the chance. I've raised you already. Now I tried to help you upon your return.
Mm-hmm.
Now you overstepping your boundaries. Now you just doing too much. And then you got the nerve to say you didn't assume that you had to help with the bills or do chores. Fuck are you talking about?
You 30 years old.
Get to stepping. The reason why the judge took the case because it's happening too much.
Yeah.
This is an everyday thing.
Okay, so now, from what I'm reading, the judge did rule that he had to move out of his parents' house.
Because the judge is probably going through the exact same motherfucking thing. I just paid for you to go to law school for 10 years and you still living with me? You understand what I'm saying? That's what the judge was thinking.
All
Get your ass out of
Now,
here.
just a little bit of this article that I'm reading from the U.S. Today. It says, Mark and Christina Rotundo of New York, want their son Michael to move out, get a job, and take his broken down Volkswagen Passat with him.
Yeah.
The couple gave Michael several eviction letters over the past few months and even offered financial help to move out of their house, but he won't leave without a legal fight.
Right, that's a different story. Right.
He's not helping them, but they offer to help him.
They pay you to get out.
Right.
Get out.
It also
Take
says,
your broken down ass car with you.
in a February 18th letter, his parents offered him $1,100 to find another place to stay, ending with, there are jobs available even for those with a poor work history like you.
Right.
Get one. You have to work. And it was signed by his parents.
Yeah, because that's the other thing about when you talking about people being, like I said, unemployed now and stuff like that, which people need to realize, if you're unhappy at your job, it's because of you. You accepted that position, number one. You got to understand we all go through issues, frustrations, even strife with our jobs to the point that we want to take mental health days. But you chose to say yes to that job offering. Now, don't be upset or complain. Leave. If you are so happy with everybody coming to say slavery wasn't a choice, it was a choice. You unhappy with your job, leave. Don't be at a location where you unhappy. But see, that's going on, I believe, too much now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to know because they got their parents' house to fall back on. I can just quit my job. Mama let me come back. Daddy said he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Daddy's favorite. He gonna let me come back anytime.
Now,
he got plenty of room. They got plenty of room.
It does say that he said he needed 6 more months to get his shit together. And now, even though the judge did say that he has to get out, he did say that he does plan to appeal the decision in court.
Really?
Right. So that means his ass ain't planning on do nothing. When you gonna appeal the decision in court so you can continue to live under your parents and they don't even want you in their house, you know what type of dynamic that is? You gonna have your parents fucking kill you in your sleep. That's gonna be that next step. You know what I'm saying? It is a such thing as a high as a pissed off evident. They are already pissed off. Now you trying to go back to court. What the fuck you living there as you making this appeal? You in their house.
Well, Kurt, he did say he does have a business. He didn't elaborate on the kind of business, but he did say he does have a business to support himself.
Okay, he can live in that business.
But
he can buy a cot and stay
the
right
thing
in that
is,
business.
I'm trying to get is, it's not, the house is not, he's nowhere on the house. So they can say when to choose to get out the house, change the locks. Why do you have to take him to court? Why you got to waste your money and go to court just to get him out the house?
Look, man, some people want to go through the certain things.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. The courts, your taxes are for you to use this court system.
But no, I'm just saying, what grounds do you have to the house? For what reason? That's why I said, why would anybody take a case like this? I'd be like, well, just change the locks.
Right, because the only time they probably could have changed the locks is when he was in the courtroom, because it's probably never
you
left
won't
the
get
house.
out there.
You got to be able to leave the house in order to change the locks. So they should have had somebody changing the locks while they was in court, which would have been a great idea.
Man, I would have
They
dragged
had
him
the
out the
locks
house.
changed while they were in court. So when they got home, keep your fucking ass in your little broke down.
Kurt, I'm pretty sure he had to leave the house at some point in time. He ain't gonna be there. So as soon as he get out the house, that first time, boom, change the locks.
Change the locks.
So what it's kind of almost sounds like what you're saying to me, JJ, is that these people are faking the funk. They really don't want this dude out the house. They just trying to, you know. Because it does sound easy enough,
right? To change,
to change the locks. Where if he goes out, all you gotta do is say, "Hey, run to the store, grab me a pack of cigarettes, a gallon of milk, a pair of pussy,
go give me some
and
soup.
come on back."
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, can't you even call the cops when the cops make him leave the house?
What?
Yeah,
he's now on the mortgage. He has no rental agreement. He's not paying
JJ,
nothing.
you thinking.
Throw his stuff out there and bye.
That's it.
You thinking. You are thinking.
Just saying.
You are thinking.
But see, a lot of things about it, which I had read earlier in that story, which a lot of people are always talking about, common law this, and you need eviction for this and things of that nature, even if we were roommates, if we were all roommates.
Right.
But my name is on the mortgage, your name on the mortgage, your name is not on the mortgage,
right.
On the mortgage, but we all roommates.
Okay.
So now you've already been with us for 7 years. It's common law to say that you've been here just as long as we have, even though you're not on the mortgage. We can't just kick you out.
So that's what he's using to his advantage.
Exactly.
Okay.
The problem is they let him stay there too fucking long.
So what you're telling me is, Kurt, that since I lived with my parents for probably the first 22, 23 years of my life, that if they tried to kick me out, I could take them to court for trying to get me out of the house.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what they're going by.
Goddamn.
They're going by that common law.
Well, goddamn. Man.
Well, that explains why they was able to, put it through court. Because of that.
Well, shit, Mama, I'm coming
They're
home.
going by that
No, but you already gone, though.
but if he come back and stay at 7 more years, he's back in there.
Hey, well, okay, so now let me ask this question. What if you move out, but then you come back and you just start putting some of your stuff in the house? Like you drop, a sock here, a toothbrush here, you know what I mean? Like a little something here
So
and
pretty
there.
much in and
now,
out.
it's kind of like, hey, I do live here. I have items. I have a toothbrush here. You know what I mean? I live here. Now she's trying to kick me out. Nah. My toothbrush has been in this same spot for 7 years. You just can't kick me out now.
Hey man, like I said, it's all day again up to the system, up to
Because I'm pretty sure this has happened commonly.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure after this one, we're gonna keep seeing more stuff about the same thing.
We're gonna keep seeing it because it's happening on a regular basis. We're gonna continue to see it every day. It's gonna be more court everywhere.
Down goes baby.
So, all right. So, Kurt, you got any last words?
Yeah, I got a last word, which I want to talk about how people are getting tricked and manipulated into getting these quote unquote joint accounts. There's no need. There's no need for any couple.
Kurt, before you start on this, because we're gonna end this right after you're done. tacoswithfriendspodcast@gmail.com. Send your comments, email us. Tacos with Friend on Twitter, Tacos with Friends on YouTube, Tacos with Friend Podcast on Instagram. Kurt, go ahead. Drink your water, people. Kurt, go ahead.
Again, in my personal opinion, there's no need for any couple to have a joint bank account because, number one, you're monetizing the relationship. Are we together because we love each other, or are we together because you think that having a bank account sustains our relationship? My earnings and your earnings are two different things. Now, if you're talking about if you want a joint bank account, I put in 20% of mine, you put in 20% of yours, okay, cool. But don't think I'm about to put in my entire check while you slickly only putting in 30% of yours. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the part that people don't see. You don't see when I select to have this amount of money only into this quote-unquote joint bank account. But you're withdrawing more than I'm putting in of this joint bank account. My relationship can't be based on a bank account that we both not using equally, even though it's supposedly joint. Get your own.
There's that.
All right, till next time.